The Walking Dead issue 189 has come and gone. It's hard to believe we're getting that close to 200.
You'll be here before you know it.
The one that Rick Grimes is going to die in.
No, I'll stop reading.
You stop reading?
Yeah,
you kept watching the show when Rick left.
Yeah, well, that's a different bag of turkey, man. Nah, they better not kill Rick Grimes. It wouldn't make no sense.
I feel like they're going to do something big. Obviously, issue 100, which before we go any further, number one, if you haven't read issue 100, I don't know why you're here listening to this podcast. We appreciate the view, but make sure you're caught up on this series because we're going to spoil the crap out of it. So I do got to throw a spoiler warning out there. We're about to really dive into issue 189 of The Walking Dead, and we're definitely going to be giving some spoilers for the series thus far. And I don't think we'll spoil the show too much, but I'm not going to promise we might not draw some parallels. So there's all kinds of spoiler territory that you're stepping into. Just fair warning. Good? Good. Let's go. So JP, my friend, tell me, what did you think of issue 189?
I liked it, man. I'm pulling up a play-by-play just so I remember what happened. I just can't remember what order.
Well, I think that we generally found that it goes smoother when we actually have the, when we go in order.
Comic,
yeah.
And I don't want to bite off anybody else's review. I want an actual synopsis more or less. But no, I mean it opens up. Mercer's in jail. And a classic jailbreak, man. I loved it. And
you need to get away from that wall.
Yeah, I was going to say it almost brought down the whole damn building.
No
I guess it goes
kidding.
to show you in real life, which is not real life comic book, but compared to a movie, where you just bust out that perfect little section of wall, I guess taking down a wall is kind of detrimental to a building's, structural integrity.
Indeed, just a bit. Walls usually hold things up.
But that is cool, man. Mercer's boy was really holding him down. He just didn't want to, come out right there, then and there, and say it in last issue because then he wouldn't.
He was smart because you didn't know exactly who's on your side, who's what in that moment. So it's best just to play it safe and then act when you have time.
He would have, he'd have been in jail right there with him if he had a.
Oh yeah, wouldn't have been able to bust him out.
Either that, or he really did just bitch up and didn't want to admit it. One of the two.
Which one do you truly think it is?
Yeah, I don't know. One of the two.
And it shows too. That explosion just shows how smart of a guy Rick really is because Rick really is he's very, what's the word I'm looking for? He really reads into situations very well because he said straight up, no, you need to get out of town because whoever did that knows they made a big scene, which means they've got to be confident in what it is that they're about to do.
Oh yeah, man. He knew what time it was. We skipped over Eugene and his gal getting swarmed there at the train tracks.
I mean, classic Walking Dead. Someone's pinned down. They distract the zombies. They run away.
Yeah, but his girl, man, she was not.
She's not used to that. Yeah, no, she's been almost back in what we would consider compared to what they live in, just regular society.
Yeah, man, not a good pickle to be in. But yeah, Eugene, he knows the deal.
I'm surprised you hadn't made a comment yet. I just figured. I was waiting.
Them getting the stank out in that train car. Yeah, I would have been like, baby, we're not going to make it. We got 5 minutes left on this earth. Pull down them britches. Let me get up in that butt.
That's what I was waiting for. Because when I read it last night, I was like, oh yeah, JP is going to turn this into a sexual thing.
Oh yeah, man, just open those windows up, let the stank out, and get on with it.
We see some great character development from Eugene, though, man. He was such a coward, and then now, I mean, he's a brave guy. I like how he said, "Yeah, I'm still scared, but Rick's taught me to." And especially it's one of those things where you just have kind of gotten desensitized to things. You can't go through but so many scenarios before you start braven up, I guess, wisen up, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, man, some good development from Eugene, definitely stepping up. I definitely thought we were going to have an Andrea situation, though. I was waiting for them to get out and for us to have it revealed that Eugene had been bit or his girlfriend had been bit. If it was his girlfriend, I would say, damn it, Eugene, no more running through Walker crowds for you. The last two people you've done it with have been bitten, but
I was waiting for Stephanie to get bit too. I was like, yeah, just no happiness for Eugene. We don't want to live in a world where Eugene is happy and sexually satisfied.
Fortunately, it seems like Eugene and Stephanie are both bite-free, so we can breathe a little easier unless they're going to throw something at us next issue. And then Jesus showing up. Jesus always shows up at just the right time.
He's there when you need him.
In our hearts and on the page.
Yeah, man, I love it. That was great. And I mean, They don't know what the hell's going on, but
it's got to be. And when you see Rick Grimes kind of in a panic, like, y'all have to get out of here. It's like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. Don't know what's happening, but get on, let's go.
Yeah, man, I love how Jesus gives that kind of playful look to Rick. He kind of like leaning to the side, like,
it was almost flirty.
Yeah. Well, man, Jesus really coming out of his shell, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, he and Aaron are a couple, but I mean, he and Rick are really good friends at this point.
Yeah, but I love it, man. He's giving some lightheartedness even in the midst of this crazy.
That's why
situation.
I say he's my favorite. Jesus is my favorite character in the Walking Dead comics. That's why it's such a sin what they did to him in the show. I mean, Tom Payne, whatever the actor's name is that plays him. I'm pretty sure it's Tom Payne. Is a really, really good actor, and you can look that up real quick if you want. But I'm pretty sure it's Tom Payne.
I was thinking, I thought Thomas Payne was the. It's not the guy who played the Punisher and like that.
Thomas Jane is who you're thinking about.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Tom Payne is his name.
Okay.
But he was when he was cast, I was like, why do they keep casting these little bitty people to play these big? Because Jesus is not huge, but he definitely looks like an athletically fit. Like I imagine him being like a 6 foot, 190-pound guy, right? 180 maybe. But anyways, when they cast Tom Payne, I'm like, he's got the look, but he's just real small. But then once I saw him on screen, I was like, okay, I like this guy as Jesus. He's awesome. And then they just did nothing with him compared to how awesome he is in the comics. So, I love Jesus in the comics, man. My favorite character. I really want to see him go badass. We hadn't seen him do any ninja stuff in a while.
Yeah, man. I think this is definitely going to be the time it happens.
Old Aaron come along and got him settled down.
Right. But it's also important to point out they don't know what Rick did to Dwight yet.
Oh, they don't. Good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. You say Dwayne?
Well, at first I was like, Dwight. And then
Morgan's going to show up.
Dwayne.
What'd you do to my boy?
Yeah. But yeah, Dwight, man, they still don't know Rick blew his brains out. So, I mean, Rick might have to stay at the Commonwealth because, they might disown his ass. I don't know.
Was he bit?
Yeah.
Why'd you do it, Rick?
Oh, yeah, he was definitely bit. No one saw it.
Then Rick's going to be like, this is the comics, Morgan, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, they don't really know what's going on. I mean, that just shows loyalty and trust, though. I mean, Jesus and his friend, they roll up and as soon as they get there, Rick's like, take these people and go. And they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
I mean, this could lead to a civil war, you know what I'm saying?
It's straight up civil war. I feel like Rick is definitely going to die. And let me explain why. JP refuses to accept it. But for you, the listener, let me break it down for you. Robert Kirkman, he does do some cliche things, but he loves to mix it up. He loves to make it, I feel anyways, at least my way of reading the comics, like he doesn't want you to really see what's coming a lot of times, like the way he killed Abraham. I mean, just in the middle of a conversation, and there's an arrow in the back of the head, and you're like, I remember reading that panel, and I'm like, what is the hell is sticking out of his head? I thought it was like a printing error or something, and then he falls over dead, and I'm like, holy hell, And so Robert Kirkman likes to kind of mix it up a little bit. I feel like I think we've said this like a year ago, or whenever the Commonwealth thing started. So how long until Rick Grimes is leading the Commonwealth? And I feel like that's what he wants. He wants to give you this false sense of security. Like, okay, at the end of this issue, and I hate to jump so far ahead, but at the end, Mercer's like, you can lead Rick Grimes. That's what we thought was going to happen. So I feel like he's going to end up dying, and you're going to be like, what the hell?
I think the Commonwealth is just going to fall. Like Rick is just going to look at, the ruins and go back to Alexandria like, oh.
My hopes are
that was a fun visit.
My hopes are that Negan will show up when Rick dies. And just be like, well, motherfucker.
Nah, like I said, I'll stop reading if Rick dies.
Really?
That's a line in the sand I'll have to draw, yeah.
Man, I mean, are you serious, though? You've been collecting The Walking Dead for a long time.
Since
definitely.
Month to month since issue 49.
Yeah, I didn't jump in month to month until like issue 100 and something. That's just because I was reading those big compendiums. But I mean, you can't do that to yourself. You're a comic book collector. That would eat you up on the inside.
I won't support them if that's what they do.
Yes, you will.
I will.
When Rick dies by issue 200, we'll come back to see where JP is as far as whether he kept The Walking Dead in his box or not.
But no, I don't think Rick is too smart. He's too tough. I don't see it happening.
Exactly. That's why it's going to happen, because you don't see it happening.
Now, if they did assassinate Rick, do you think they'll do another time jump? Like we'll jump like 5 years into the future?
I was going to say, I feel like, well, Robert Kirkman has said, which he says that, and in my opinion, don't get butthurt if you're against this. It's just an opinion. But I feel like, Robert Kirkman has said before that it's really not Rick's story, it's Carl's story. But I don't feel like that's really true. I mean, there has been some Carl-centered storytelling, but I think for me reading it for years, I feel like I've been following Rick Grimes and his son Carl. You know what I mean? Not Carl Grimes and his dad Rick. If that makes any sense, the way I'm trying to put that together, like it feels like it's focused on Rick and Carl's his son. But this might be the point where it does become a Carl-centered story, because I love that Carl and Rick had that moment where Carl's like, "What do you want me to do?" And Rick basically is just like, "You'll know. I don't need to tell you what to do. You'll know what to do when it happens." Mm-hmm. And it shows us that Rick now is accepted, that Carl is growing up. Carl's his own man. He can make his own decisions, and he trusts that Carl can handle himself in these kind of situations, which is the perfect setup for Rick to exit and for Carl to start doing his Carl leadership thing.
If it jumps 5 years or whatever into the future, who do you think Carl's squeeze is going to be? You think
Lydia still?
You think it'll still be Lydia? You think maybe Sophia will weasel in? Maybe the wild card princess?
All I'm saying is, when you find a girl who will lick your eye socket, you better hold on to her, because I don't think many other girls will get that kinky with you. So.
I don't know, man. Princess looks like she'd be a freak.
Hey, I could see Princess being kind of freaky.
She was definitely giving him some eyes, man. She was throwing some eyes at him.
Oh, man. So would Princess would be kind of, I mean, I know she doesn't really have like a kid, but would Princess be like cougar status for Carl? Not MILF status, cougar status for Carl?
I don't think so, man. How old are you?
I imagine she's like in her mid-20s.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm terrible at reading age in this stuff, though. So she could maybe be like 18, 19. I mean, she was hooking up with Mercer. Mercer certainly looks like he's pushing up closer to, mid-30s to 40s. So, I mean, but then again, I mean, it's nothing wrong with being 10 years older than the person you're hooking up with, as long as they're legal, I guess.
Yeah. That's a rule I stick firmly to.
So I don't know how old, if you know how old Princess is, maybe we've missed it. Maybe she revealed it or something. Let us know. One thing I don't do that I need to start doing is I've just, here lately, I've stopped reading those letters to Robert Kirkman, like in the back of the comic. Mm-hmm. So if he's answered somewhere how old Princess is, or if she said it, let us know. I just don't remember.
I usually read the letter hacks, but I had the last issue or so. I kind of been.
It's been like the last 4 or 5. I usually try to, but last 4 or 5, man, I just hadn't. I don't know. So what do you think of this Commonwealth storyline thus far? What do you think, and where's your head at?
I like it, man. It's different. It's some nice political commentary, so to speak. We without being pushy and preachy and stuff. It's throwing something different in there.
Kind of like the show. I mean, which the show's doing something the comic's already done, obviously. But I think that's what we're digging about the comic and the show. Both are giving us something in their own regards that we hadn't seen before. We've seen the Whisperers in the comics, but on the show, they're brand new and fresh. Like my dad's not a comic guy. Never read a comic in his life. He told me just the other day, Monday, we were having dinner for my mom's birthday, and my dad was like, "I'm going to tell you what, this whole Whisperer thing, man, I think it saved The Walking Dead." He said, because I wasn't going to give up on the show because I'm this invested into it. He said, but I'm not going to lie, I had kind of lost interest in it. Now, this whole Whisperer thing has just really brought me back into it. So, I mean, the show's doing something they've never done before. The comic's doing something they've never done. It's a good time to be a Walking Dead fan.
So you think Michonne and Rick will both be killed within the next 10 issues, and then it'll time jump, and it'll be like a grown-up Carl and Elodie, and, they're kind of like have the same dynamic,
that's a good,
so to speak.
that's a good. I don't think Elodie's nearly as badass as Michonne, though.
But she'll have to learn.
I mean, we can hope she will.
Yeah,
but
she will.
I never thought of that. That is a great point. Like Rick and Michonne could be killed off, and then like we go forward in the future and we kind of see that same friendship or dynamic, or maybe they're together like they are in the show. I don't know, but like I said, Carl's with Lydia, so unless they break up and then he gets with Elodie. But I mean, that's a good. I don't know. Again, I think that Rick is going to die by issue 200. I hope I'm wrong. I'm cool with him ending the series with Rick alive, but
yeah, he should.
I think that Rick is going to die.
Rick's just the pillar.
Something big is going to happen in issue 200. Rick and or Michonne, mark my words. Somebody big, just like in issue 100 when he killed Glenn. It just was this big deal. I think that he knows he's going to have to one-up that and issue 200.
I could live with Michonne getting axed. I could live with it. I wouldn't like it, but the way she's been acting lately, I could live with it.
She has been kind of like to be as smart as Michonne is. But I don't want to see it happen. She's been kind of acting dumb.
Well, I get what she's pampered,
But the thing is, we got to realize we don't have kids, and I'm sure if you found your kid who'd been missing for so long, it would change the way you think too. You cloud your judgment a little bit, so we can't fault her, but so bad. But at the same time, we can totally fault her because she still made some really stupid decisions.
Yeah.
But I do understand the fact that she's now found her kid who's been missing all this time. And it probably does have her feeling a certain kind of way and kind of taking precedent over the decisions that she makes. She's trying to keep the peace, keep her daughter safe, keep this coexistence with her daughter going. So I get it. I do. For all the parents out there that just start throwing like baby bombs at us, like, you don't have a kid, you don't understand.
Oh, God, a baby bomb would be awful.
I didn't mean that kind of baby bomb.
Like hide a bomb up in a baby and throw it at you, man. That would be horrific.
Just stop. That's not what
horror that comes out of your brain.
That's just not what I'm talking about.
It astounds me.
Keep it up. You're going to get the buzzer. Keep it up.
I deserve the buzzer. I'm not putting dynamite up in babies.
Well, you talked about it long enough.
You talked about it. You brought it up.
I said baby bomb.
People throwing baby bombs at us.
Right. Like you don't have a baby. That was a metaphorical baby bomb, not a real baby bomb. I'm trying to prolong it enough to find this damn buzzer, and now I can't find it. So you don't get the buzzer, but still. I do have a sound effect here that says 58 seconds of silence. Let's play the sound effect. Check it out. Oh.
I don't have headphones.
That was not silence.
No. Are there crickets?
Oh, and you know what? It was this thing they were doing. All radio stations did it, but there was like a little prologue beforehand, and then there was 58 seconds of silence.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
But yeah, solid issue.
I thought it was a very, very, very good issue. Okay, this is a question I had to ask you. You know what? This isn't the buzzer I was going to give you, and it's a little late, but I'm going to give you this buzzer anyways. There's that. Next time you go talking about talking about some crazy stuff.
I didn't even come up with this concept.
You did.
No.
But so that leads to my question. Here's another sound effect I didn't know I had.
Was that a chicken?
It was a turkey.
Oh Lord.
But okay, so JP, what's your favorite storyline been? All seriousness, like what is? And I found that sound effect. Mess up now, and I'm going to hit you with it, metaphorically. So what's your favorite storyline been from The Walking Dead? Like, if you have to pick one storyline between, like, think, though. I mean, that's not just saying,
tough.
You got to think about, like, what were they called? They were the Hunters, the people that Terminus were kind of based on. They were called the Hunters.
Yeah, Fear the Hunters was the name
Hunters
of that story arc.
Storyline. You've got the farm, which didn't last nearly as long in the comic as it did in the show. No. You've got the Governor. You've got All Out War. What's your favorite storyline, Ben, if you had to pick one?
Man, well, we brought it up, I think. Maybe it was the podcast about the TV show this past Monday, but I like, man, when Tyrese, man, gets that lip service from Michonne. She gets down on him in the gym or whatever.
So the prison saga.
Definitely the prison, I think, was just like the height of everything. I wish I was keeping up with it issue to issue at that point.
Right.
But nah, man, and then...
That was the entire... That was like an entire volume. I mean, like
they spent a lot of time at the prison.
Yeah, that was. I have to go back and look because I said compendium earlier. I didn't have the compendium. I had the hardcover. The compendiums were basically 4 of those books. I had the books that were basically like 2 of the trade paperbacks.
Right. I've only ever got the paperbacks, but
because it's like comic, and then I think there's like 4 or 5 comics and a trade paperback, and they're trade paperbacks. I don't know how many comics are in there, but anyway, so it's like comic and then a few comics in the trade paperbacks. Then the books are like 2 trade paperbacks, and then the compendium's like 4 of those books. Mm-hmm. So, but I know the prison took up a lot, but it didn't feel like it was long. Like, All Out War in the comics felt like it kind of drug on a little bit, which I loved All Out War, so I'm not complaining. But it definitely, you felt like it had been going on for a while. With the prison saga, I felt like all was just. I guess because everything was still so new and fresh. Right. So much happening.
The first huge major threat other than, the dead.
I think I'm going to agree with you because I still think the issue where the governor launches his final assault on the prison is just a devastating issue. I mean, there's so much. I mean, Lori dies. Herschel dies. Herschel's son Billy dies. I mean,
man.
It just was devastating. Lots of people died. The governor died. I mean, it was just... I think that is still one of my favorite issues just because, which I like you, I wasn't reading it issue to issue at that point, but I remember getting the comic and getting the book and getting to that part and just being like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. I love when Carol asks Lori if she wants to be in like a poly relationship with
Right,
Rick.
yeah.
I was just like, man, this...
Rick
almost hit the jackpot, baby.
A lot of interesting issues in the comic that they don't really address in the show, you know.
Yeah,
No point that this Carol asked Lori if she wanted to have a three-way.
Yeah, sadly not.
Sadly not. But yeah, so I like the issue. Let's rate it. We do rate these issues.
Oh gosh,
1 to 5 stars. You ready? Put your hand on the table or under your hat. Ready, set, go.
I'll give it all the stars. I don't see it, I liked it.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I liked it.
I like the reunion with Jesus and Carl and Rick. I like that Mercer is finding out that leading a revolt isn't the same as getting the people behind you and leading a community.
It's not that easy. Someone popped him in the face with that glass bottle, man.
Yeah, for real.
Ow. Oh, poor Mercer.
It's funny. I was watching the 2000s, on Netflix.
Oh
CNN
yeah, I
show.
love that. Yeah.
And they were talking about the after the days after the Iraqi after they took down Saddam,
Right, yeah.
and all these Iraqi insurgents are just like, at least Saddam fed us. There's dead people in the streets, and it just kind of reminds you of that. It's Colin Powell or whatever said, you break it, you own it. Just
Right.
like Pottery Barn, and pretty much, Mercer's got to,
Oh yeah, Mercer frees the people, and then people are still gonna bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's just you can't just like take over and expect things to be better. You got to have a plan in place.
Right.
If nothing else, the Commonwealth is a well-oiled machine. Everyone's fed. It might have its problems, but
Sometimes does provide some interesting political commentary on what it takes to create like the perfect government. A question that we've been trying to figure out since like the dawn of man's intelligence, we just nobody. Some people some people can or can't get it right, but I love the questions being raised by it, and a great issue, man. I've really liked the Commonwealth story. Now let me ask you. Commonwealth storyline versus Whisperer storyline. Which do you dig more?
Oh man, they're so vastly different. That's
the good thing. A comic running this long can still give you things because it's like my dad said. It's only for long. Like you have you had the Rick versus the governor, Rick versus Negan. So I'm glad that they've got it. It's like we're going back against regular people now, but it's a whole different type of conflict. It's not just so much of a we want what you have and we're going to fight you.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I can't even...
What was yours, the listener? What was your favorite Walking Dead storyline? Has it been the Commonwealth? Did you like the Whisperers? Did you like... It don't matter how long or short it was. Just your highlight of the Walking Dead's comic run. What is your favorite little story? It could be something as small because Fear of the Hunters was not a long little...
Yeah, I think maybe 5 issues.
Right, it wasn't long at all. So, just whatever it is what is your favorite? Because, I would love to see something and go, I forgot all about that storyline.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Fear of the Hunters was like the first official titled story arc in the whole comic.
Was it?
Before that, they didn't have headings or anything like that.
No kidding.
Yeah, which I kind of like it better because you just,
I know that they had volumes because issue 1 was what, Days Gone By or something like that or something. But
as far as the comics themselves, there wasn't part 1 of, whatever.
That's really, I didn't know that. I learned stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, man. And I like it better that way because you're not waiting for something to culminate, with the 5th issue of this, heading or
you think
whatever.
they do that for sales? Like it picks up the sales with this, this is a storyline.
Look, we need you to, to help sales with the trade paperbacks, help, whatever.
And it also can help not disappoint because when you get to part 6 of 6, you expect this big thing to happen, and when nothing that big happens, you're kind of like, oh, well, that was a letdown. But if you didn't have that, if it wasn't, 6 of 6, if it was just another issue, you might look at it completely different and be like, oh, it's a good issue. It's leading up to some good stuff.
Yeah, man. I like what they're doing now, just titling each individual issue, without having Part 9 of All Out War. I like what they're doing now.
I really hope our comic shop starts getting. I love you are the variant man. Like JP's got like an entire comic collection of just variants.
I've been going in deep lately. It's true. But there's been a lot of really great variants, man.
They really have. I almost bought a Batman one. I think it was Batman 63, maybe. It was a sweet Batman variant. But I like the ones I tell the comic shop next door. I'm like, if you get any Doomsday Clock variants. If you get any Walking Dead, Gideon Falls, any of those are the variants I want more than anything. And I hadn't got a Walking Dead variant in a while.
Yeah, they don't do as many for the Walking Dead,
P.S. I didn't start getting the sweet Walking Dead 15-year portrait variants until 4 or 5 in. I still need Rick. I have Carl. I need Rick, Andrea, the Governor, and Michonne. If anybody out there has those variants and they want to part with them, sell them, trade them, something, please email me. podcastingdeadpodcast@gmail.com. Please let me know, because I guess I could go to eBay and buy them. I just hadn't. That's probably my. I told you, I was like, these aren't even rare or super valuable, but These are probably my favorite variants ever done by any series. I love them. I want to put them up on a wall, but I need the rest of them. I've got pretty much from, I think, Alpha on.
Yeah, man. The cool thing with The Walking Dead is it has to be a special sort of occasion for them to put some variants out,
Mm-hmm.
They had some really cool ones for issue 100. I got quite a few of those.
If you ever get a chance to go to Coastal Comics in Myrtle Beach, that's where I picked you up a variant. A couple months back.
An homage to issue 1.
Yeah. He's actually in their collection, man. I mean, their shops. It's definitely bigger than anything we have around here, but it's not like Acme Comics huge.
Sure.
But it's a decent sized shop, and he actually, believe it or not, has a ton. I had to walk away. Every year I go, I buy some Walking Dead variants. He's got a ton of different variants in there from $5 or $10 a piece. Pretty damn sweet. I bought those bagged issues, and it was so tempting to buy them and not open them, but I ended up opening them and gotten a sweet number 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You can't get something polybagged and not open it.
I know. I bought 4 or 5 of them. That was back in November when I was up there when they were releasing those, because our shop didn't do Walking Dead Day. And
that's right.
And so when I went up there, I bought all but 2 or 3 that he had, and got some really good stuff, man. I got some sweet variants. So Maybe we'll do a video going over Walking Dead variants or something one day. We can show them off.
Yeah, man, we should definitely do that. Maybe we can link that up with Periscope.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I've been wanting to do a new comic day, little Periscope show,
We should, yeah, that'd be awesome.
I've been thinking about that, but
we could just come back here at the end of the day before, both of us go home and kind of go through what we've got. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
But, so let us know what you thought of the issue. I almost said episode. Let us know what you think of the show. If you hadn't found us, we do a episode-by-episode review and discussion of the show. We make some predictions, but we're not a big prediction or spoiler channel. I'm not going to say we don't every now and again say, so rumor has it this is going to happen, but we try to steer away from that. Because JP here, and me too, but we do not really care much for spoilers. So
yeah, I hate spoilers. I just read it before we podcasted. Astro Hustle, man.
I remember
really
you
cool
telling
read.
me you were looking forward to getting that.
Only a 4-parter, so you don't have to. It's not going to be a 10-year investment. But yeah, man, a cool story, dark, retro, whimsical. It hits. Did
a lot. Did he have any more over there?
I don't know. I'll
have to walk over there here in a few and see if there's any left, because I didn't realize it was a 4-part series.
Yeah, man, 4 parts. So
Huh.
I liked it. Anything stand out to you yesterday? I haven't read Immortal Hulk yet.
That's good.
The cover for that looks amazing.
That's good. Yeah. That whole run I can't believe at one point I was thinking about dropping it. And it wasn't just because I didn't like it. It's just because I was trying to really trim some fat off my pull list.
Right.
I got to the point where just like a lot of comic readers, I think I have an entire long box full that I haven't read yet. But nonetheless, it was good, man. It was really good.
Yeah,
building up to some cool stuff. I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Those Alex Ross covers, man, they're killing it with those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man, some good. I'm looking forward to reading that. Looking forward to Conan the Barbarian #4 came out. Looking forward to that. So yeah,
Doomsday Clock was really good.
Yeah, man, I did get a chance to read that. That was
a lot of political commentary on that one, though.
Yeah, it was quite a bit, and I have certain theories on that, but I won't get it. Maybe for another podcast.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we'll check that out.
But yeah, man, so good stuff hit the ground yesterday. Uncanny X-Men, finally a good X-Men series. I've been digging that. I did get a chance to read that before we jumped on. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember you said that's the first good one they've had in a while, right?
Yeah, man. And Star Wars Vader Dark Visions, I'm not really much for Star Wars comics, but the cover was just so dope. I had to grab it. So.
Oh, yeah. I've gotten many of those.
Good stuff dropping today.
Yeah, I've gotten many of those. Well, I'm trying to think of what all else I got today. I don't have them with me right this moment. The Walking Dead, I got Ronin, what is it?
Ronin Island?
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like a Nicktoons anime show, but we'll see how that turns out. I thought it was an Image title is why I got it at first, and then it's a Boom title, which Boom has made some all right stuff, but Image right now, Image and Dark Horse are my shiznit.
Yeah, man, a new Black Hammer series came out. It was it's like set in 1945 during World War II, and the art is very I get what they're going for. It's like old men sharing
Did you
their
get
story.
it?
Yeah, I got it.
See, I didn't put down for that.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know it was coming out, but he knew us down for Black Hammer. So
now, I'm the one that told him to read Black Hammer. I'm the one that told him that. Which you got me into Black Hammer, but I'm the one that told him how good Black Hammer was, and it's on my list, and he didn't even put that in my box.
Well, it was different, man. The art is very, very weird.
Well, good. I'm kind of glad I didn't get it.
Yeah,
then.
man. I don't know if you'd be into it or not. I mean, it's a solid story, but the art is definitely a little off-putting. But I get what they're going for. It's it's shoddy art because it's just two guys digging into their memories.
Right. Is it tying back into the main story, or is it completely a side?
Yeah, I mean, it's set in the same universe. It doesn't really. I don't know that it'll really tie into what's going on, but. But yeah, I mean, they're doing a whole Black Hammer verse, so they're doing all kinds of little side series. And most of what I've read has been good, so.
That's awesome. Well, I reckon that's going to wrap this one up. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Just a smile and a handshake, and come on back next time.
All right. Well, we will see you soon. Don't forget, if you are not subscribed to our channel, you should change that. Hit the little bell notification. And actually, today you should have a Random Rambling Wednesdays podcast, which we'll probably start doing right after this one, which is just where we talk about any and everything under the sun. So I'm Justin.
Oh, and I'm JP.
And again, we're the Podcasting Dead.